Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Monday, January 6th, 2020. Hope everybody had a great day today. Got a little bit of news to talk about here. First off, we'll go over our space weather. Right now, our solar wind speeds are coming in at a 466 kilometers per second with a density still of 0.9. Now, I'm not sure if that is a mistake or if that's actually the density is just kind of stayed put, but that is what we are looking at right now. Actually, let me go ahead and switch the weather station here because, well, we do have a sunspot, and I got two different things here, and I do apologize. AR 2755, that is the name of the sunspot that we have that's directly Earth-facing in the southern hemisphere of our star. Now, that also is a member of solar cycle 25, strictly based on the polarity, and also what helps too is the actual location of this. And I want to mention too is we can barely see it right now on the eastern limb. We'll get a better picture of it here just in a second. There is another active region, and that's near the equatorial region. So speaking to Starman earlier, that better be solar cycle 24 sunspot, or there's some major problems right now. Nonetheless, we might have another possibility for a sunspot coming over the eastern limb. Again, guys, I'm not worried about 5 days in a row or 6 days in a row with a sunspot on the sun. When you compare to what the solar max is, and you see how many sunspots are on the sun during a solar max or even in an active period, you'll see that this is nothing. This is just a typical solar minimum. A couple action here and there, but nothing really major to worry about as far as the sun just switching back on, as they say. All right, a KP indice is sitting right at 2, and a 24-hour max is at a 3. Now, earlier this morning, we reported of a max of 4. We barely missed having a G1 geomagnetic storm. That did not come to fruition. However, we are seeing solar winds slowly die down. Let's go to the grandsolarminimum.com and check out the big picture here. And there is our next active region there on the eastern limb right there. That's the one that we're watching. Is it going to become the next sunspot? If it does, it'll be AR 2756. And also we'll be looking for the polarities of this, making sure this is a member of, again, there's no reason why that's not a part of solar cycle 24. Anything else would be very, very, very strange and unique. But guys, if you really look at this, let's say this active region kind of dies out as it turns towards Earth facing. Honestly, folks, it's pretty quiet. So I wouldn't be shocked to catch 30 days in a row without a sunspot after we get through these next active regions here as we get through here in the next few days. Coronal hold that was Earth facing is now turning away. This is expected to bring increased solar wind speeds by the 8th or the 9th of January. So we will also continue to monitor that. And there's a look at our KP indices over the past couple days. As you see, we just about hit storm levels a couple different times going into January 6th. And the solar proton flux has been very, very quiet. Slight activity, but again, back to nothing as we continue through this solar minimum. And man, so today's January 6th. We've talked about this a line right here where Earth is basically all alone on the other side of the star. Everybody else is having a party on this side of the solar system while Earth is just chilling by itself. Weaker magnetic connections, weaker magnetic field, and that'll actually, in fact, I'm going to lead with that story because new type of aurora was discovered. Speaking of weak connections and magnetic fields, NASA intern Jennifer Briggs, a physics student under Pepperdine University in California, discovered a new type of aurora in a 3-year-old footage of the Arctic sky. Scientists were able to correlate this never-before-seen aurora to a sudden compression in Earth's magnetic field. During the internship at the NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland, Briggs came across the aurora in photos from ground-based all-sky cameras mounted in Svalbard, Norway, near the Arctic Circle. And the newly found type of aurora was short-lived and had a rare spiral that caught her attention. NASA said this made Briggs think of a seashell. Its twisting motions indicated the magnetosphere had a major disturbance. Indeed, data from NASA's magnetic spheric, wow, say that, multi-scale mission, MMS, let's just call it MMS for short, provided the dramatic compression of the magnetosphere.
Easy for you to say, Jake.
No, be quiet, Mari. Go back to producing or something. Researchers were left puzzled to why this magnetic crunch occurred or why it forced magnetic field to decrease in size so abruptly. But since there were no solar explosions to push against the magnetic field at the time, the researchers believe it may have been triggered by an unprecedented storm in the area where Earth's magnetic field meets particles from the sun. Now, this motion is something that we've never seen before, Grand Solar Minimum. This eastward and then westward and then spiraling motion is not something that we've ever seen, not something we currently understand, said Briggs. Boy, oh boy, when it comes to weather and space weather, we keep seeing the same sentence almost on a nightly basis when we do these shows. We've never seen this before. And the reason why is because the last time things like this happened was about 200 plus years ago. So what a time to be alive to be able to witness this with our own eyes. But according to the intern, the edge of the magnetosphere moved towards the planet's surface by about 15,000 miles in less than 2 minutes. When this certain aurora took place, it was over 4 times the Earth radius. It was over the 4 times the radius of the Earth, I should say. To put it into perspective, it would take a commercial jet around 27 hours to fly that distance. You can imagine someone punching the Earth's magnetic field. Briggs described there was a massive but localized compression. The rapid dash of charged particles in the Aurora Borealis can cause disruption on electronic communications, GPS, more satellites out of orbit, put astronauts at risk, and even eradicate power grids if the explosion is massive. So interesting. And I think I caught a little bit of Lee Wilbarger talking to David Devine about this newly discovered aurora. Again, we'll have him live Friday night, January 10th, 2020. All right, guys, major floods hits Israel. 20% of the yearly rain just fell in 2 hours. Yeah, 20% of their yearly rainfall fell in 2 hours. Now, before we get crazy on this, that 20% was just 3 inches of rain. But still, to get 20% of your yearly precipitation, rainfall anyway, in just 2 hours, we are flux, people. Cosmic rays out the yin-yang. Major flooding hit parts of Israel following days of heavy downpour on January 4th and 5th, 2020, claiming at least 4 lives. The rain was so intense that the city of Tel Aviv received 20% of its rainfall in just 2 hours. Israeli police had to close several roads across the affected areas. During the day, a stormy winter system plagued most of the area's country, Tel Aviv in particular, the Israeli police stated. Thousands of calls were received, and hundreds of police officers throughout the day provided assistance to civilians. They got 3 inches that fell on January 4th, and that was 20% of the rainfall for the year. As the downpour went on into Sunday, the fire and rescue services were called on to rescue dozens of people who were trapped in flooded homes, vehicles, and roads, particularly in Balfouria, Kairat, Tavan, and Nahariya. Authorities advised residents to stay indoors. And it's not hard every time I do a broadcast to find an article that talks about flooding or a year's worth of rain in just a short period of time, or a couple months worth of rain. In this case, 20% equals about 1 to 2 months here. But guys, just another, and there's a couple of things that's happening right now over in the Middle East that's not usual, and that is, well, not that one, almost. Here we go. Photo report. Ice covers the desert. Ain Sefra, the gateway to the Sahara, Algeria. Now, ice covered the deserts around Algeria town of Ain Sefra, the gateway to Sahara, on December 31st, 2019. This is the 3rd winter in a row we received snow or ice reports from this area. So for all of you out there who want to talk about the UAH temperatures at 0.56 degrees Celsius above baseline, which, yes, last year in December we were at a 0.25. So we've warmed quite a bit, over 0.30 degrees Celsius. But I don't panic about, oh no, the sun's turning back on, everything's going back to normal, because reports like this, ice in the desert. We were sharing some beautiful pictures of the Grand Canyon with snow covering it. But how many years have we talked about snow in the Sahara, in the desert? Several times since 2016. And once again, we continue to see these rare events continue to occur. Some of you hardcore watchers will remember this amazing imagery made by Karim on January 7th and February 5th of 2018, when his images and a story of a small Algerian desert town covered in snow and ice made international headlines. Karim has sent us another set of amazing images and video he took on December 31st, both rare and amazing. Not crazy amounts, but still weird, right? Ice in the desert. Insane. 3 years in a row, folks. Thanks again to the watchers for their work and their reporting, keeping everyone aware of what's happening around the world. Got some funny stuff to talk about real quick. This is the only funny thing of the day. Joe Biden. Oh, sleepy, creepy, freepy Joe here. According to Joe Biden, coal miners worried about their future should retain as software developers. Miners were less than impressed with Joe Biden's advice. I wonder why. Are you kidding me? Quoted saying, anybody who can go down 300 to 3,000 feet in a mine sure as hell can learn how to program as well. But we don't think of it that way. Anybody who can throw coal into a furnace can learn how to program, for God's sakes. I want to bring in Mari on this one here. Mari.
Yes, Jake?
Be honest.
Okay.
Could you teach me how to code?
I mean, I could.
But how long?
It would take a while.
Yeah.
You have to have a foundation of computing too before you can just hop into code. It's like learning a new language.
Well, not only that, but people go to school to understand the language of computers. When I went to school back in my days,
it's very technical.
It's changed.
And it's also
we don't run Lotus anymore.
You know how some people are good at math and some aren't? It takes a certain I would say talent to want to do it. And plus it's really boring coding.
You have to have incredible patience.
Like, when Aiden says he wants to become a game coder, and I know how boring coding the graphic design part is great and fun, but actual computer coding, it's very nerdy, and it takes a lot of patience, and you have to have a passion for it. It's not just some random skill set where anyone can just hop into it. I can't say. It's just like anything else, though, a specialty. Whether you fix cars or you're a doctor or a nurse or whatever, it's an acquired trait. Either way, his statement's just ignorant, and it's just a distraction from all the other BS that's going on in the political realm. I call it a circus.
I want to say hello to all of our mods out there tonight. Wolf Pup, Thor, great to see you, my friend. Glad you're with us tonight.
See Jeff's
Matt,
there?
Jeff, I did. Jeff, the Nemesis Project. How you doing, my friend? Long time no see. It's been a real long time, actually, but good to see some familiar faces. Cheryl, of course. Some new faces as well. Hello, Jesse. Hello, Raven. Guys, thank you for tuning in. But no, Pete, how you doing, buddy? You're not going to get me to say your last name because I finally figured out what it is. Hut. Anyway. But no, I think this is just an example. Also, hello to Arnold Schmidt. I think this is another example of how Joe Biden is out of touch with the world. to suggest that and I'm not saying that coal miners are stupid. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they don't have the patience to learn a new trade. I just think that's a very overwhelming suggestion for a coal miner. I would have said something like, learn how to frame or learn how to lay pipe. I would have said, let's learn a new trade, like something in the construction field. That's something that would be more their speed versus something ridiculous like, hey, let's go ahead and let's talk about, coding for people who have spent a long time inside mines doing hard physical labor that a lot of folks couldn't handle. So, again, I don't mean to be political, but this is what you're going to get, folks, if you vote Democrat. This is exactly what you're going to get. And not to be biased, but if this was a Republican that was saying this, I'd be all over him. Trust me, if Trump was saying the things that Biden was saying about the climate, I'd be one of his biggest critics. But it doesn't matter at this point because we have a couple of bumbling idiots that are trying to be president. And this is just alarming to me. If I'm a level-headed person who's in the middle, doesn't know which side to go, and I'm hearing things like this, I'm pretty sure that I realize that this guy is just another out-of-touch millionaire. And it's the truth. Sarcastic comment. Why didn't Joe Biden suggest they retain a brain surgeon? Yeah. The answer, of course, is everybody knows brain surgery is difficult. Coding, by contrast, is so easy anyone can learn it in a few weeks because we've all seen that Hollywood movie where a high school kid hacks the computer which controls NORAD. Let's play a game. You guys remember that, don't you? War Games? Matthew McConaughey. I mean, come on. Obviously, he's being sarcastic here, but that's funny to me. After President Biden shuts down the coal industry, my guess is coal miners who are still out of work after completing their government-provided 6-week boot camp with software development, of course, will they really not? Well, they're really trying. Are they? Or are they not? I mean, God, give me a break. Let's shut down the coal mines, and you can just go be a dentist. How about that, fella? You go be a dentist now. And you that worked at the engineer at the natural gas plant, I want you to become what a profession, Mario? What should natural gas people? What profession they should go into?
Oh, they should definitely
librarian.
No,
that would be too easy.
You watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay, Jake, so maybe they should
maybe a
become
chef.
Chefs.
How old is this ketchup? I had to censor myself because Gordon has a naughty mouth on him. But anyway, but seriously, guys. Please pay attention to what all these politicians are saying when it comes to environment, climate, and jobs. Because when we get people like this in control, this is just like Obama during the housing bubble crisis, where Obama's like, let's let everybody get a loan for a house and see how many default within the first 90 days. Well, of course, that happened pretty quick, and it messed up the housing market for a long time, shutting down the coal industry, and expecting people to just, I'll go code. I'll be ready in a few weeks, right? Be working at Apple in no time, or NCR, or all these other major corporations where the majority of these people, they go to college for quite some time to get into these companies after they learn their trade. So, and tonight's headline, nearly 200 people across Australia have been arrested for deliberately starting brush fires. It says here a total of 183 people have been arrested by police in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and Tasmania for lighting bushfires over the past few months. Figures obtained by the news agency Now, in New South Wales, 24 people were arrested, risking sentences of up to 25 years in prison. Listen to this. Police concluded that 103 of the fires have been deliberately lit, with 98 people, and 67 of them are juveniles. Now, let's be real. The person who organized this, and believe me, somebody organized this fire. The person who organized this fire knew what they were doing. 67 juveniles and just one in Queensland. We can't prosecute. We're not going to throw a kid in jail Remember, he's a minor. He's juvenile. He's not responsible for his own actions yet, right? He's not responsible for his own thoughts. You can't try him like an adult. Not on this. He set a bushfire. And this bushfire turns into something massive. I guess now there probably are some people right now in the chat who are saying, you know what, screw that. That kid can go to jail for the next 20 years because over 500 million animals have been killed from this fire since August, or maybe even further back. Over 23 people have now been reported as deceased. That death toll is expected to go up. Bernie Sanders blamed those who are delaying action on the climate change for the blood red sky and unbreathable air in Australia. I tell you what, again, another example of an out-of-touch politician. Bernie Sanders blaming the lack of climate change action that's been taken. That's not it either. We just revealed that 183 people have been arrested for setting the fires. Yeah, some of these were set by lightning strikes, but you guys have seen that famous picture. I mean, it's outrageous. It's kind of weird how it's like gained so much attention right now. And I know a lot of people say, well, this has been going on for a long time, Jake. But what I'm saying is that I've noticed a big uptick in talking about it, coverage on the news. A lot of people, even coworkers, sending me text messages. What do you think of this? What do you think? The government's not helping. Are you kidding me? And where are these reports coming from? Why is anybody saying that that no one's helping to put this out? And I'm reading the Snopes on this before I show this picture. And I don't know. I'll let you guys judge. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was real. This is supposedly what we're seeing from satellite imagery. I mean, that looks like hell on earth. I think it's been doctored, honestly. I truly believe it's been doctored. There's no way. I could be wrong. But again, we have a hand rose. Yes.
I just want to say I have a friend of mine on Facebook. I went to school with her, elementary school all the way up. She is currently vacationing in Queensland, and I have seen no fire pictures or anything. She's just posting beautiful pictures. So I am suspicious, and I know that we do have a lot of people in Australia that tune in and listen. Definitely leave a comment below and let us know firsthand what you're seeing. Because
please.
It does seem sensationalized, but at the same time, really, over 200 people getting arrested for starting fires? Is that what that article said?
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a narrative that's trying to be fit here, and so there's an organization. I can't say it's going to be like a Soros type guy, but someone like that in Australia wants to push the climate change narrative. And I believe these 183 people were hired to set these fires.
That's just messed up.
That's what I think. And the fact that there's 67 of them that are juveniles, that was purposely done. I can't imagine a bunch of kids saying, you know what, let's burn this mother. Let's set it on fire. Let's do it. Come on. I mean, they're not evil. Come on. Really? I feel like this was a plan. This was executed. And maybe this is a little bit sensationalized. Maybe this isn't really happening. Who knows? Conspiracy, right? But I don't like it because it has been going on since August, and it's just now getting a lot of attention. And to hear that almost 500 million animals have passed away during this event, that's sad. And there's a lot of species in Australia, too, that you have to account for as well. All right, let's go ahead and move over to Puerto Rico. Look at that. Numerous moderate to strong earthquakes shook southern Puerto Rico over the past 9 days, Strongest earthquake is 5.8. That was January 6th. Today, 2020, with 8 miles of a depth. Person down here we go again. I've spent 29 years with Puerto Rico's seismic network, and it's the first time I've observed this kind of activity. Director Victor Huerfano told the Associated Press. So we have never seen Aurora, 20% of yearly rainfall in Israel, and never seen before earthquake swarms, snow on the ice, now on the desert. Everything's fine, guys. We're warming, all right? Just take it easy. No grand solar minimum. Okay? Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's nothing's happening. Anyway, another headline where we're reading where someone is saying, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. The last several days we've had, now guys, if you're going to count the earthquakes of 1.0 and higher, we've had over 1,100 earthquakes in the past 9 days. If you're looking at 2.5 or higher, we've had 146. So obviously a lot of these tremors are low. And below 2.5 magnitude, 1,100 of them. Still, quite a bit. Puerto Rico's been through quite a bit. Some of these folks aren't still recovered from Maria. Power outages were reported in some parts of the territory on January 6th. There are no reports of injuries, but residents in southern coastal towns began posting images of partially collapsed homes. Look at this. There's another photo here where a car is being smashed. Landslide, rocks falling down. Here you go. Cars in the overhang garage. No more. Folks are saying we haven't stopped shaking since on January 2nd, after a 4.5 earthquake hit the region. It's the first time something like this has happened. Yeah. Spent 29 years with the Puerto Rico Seismic Network, and it's the first time I've observed this kind of activity. There's no way to protect or predict when it's going to end and if it's going to lead to a major event. Well, I'm no earthquake expert, but I think if there is any silver lining to this, just from what I've observed over the last several years, the fact that we're having so many little earthquakes might be taking pressure off. And so therefore a possibility of a major earthquake is not possible at this time because of all these aftershocks. That's just a wild guess there. But I would think that these 1,100 small earthquakes are helping and not hurting. I hope I'm right on this one for sure. All right, let's go ahead and check out. I picked this one out. Seattle, Washington. I'm going to show some love to the Northwest. This ain't love, though, guys. This is ridiculous. 13 to 14 feet of snow expected to... That's right, 13 to 14 feet of snow expected at Burnt Mountain here. Mount Rainier, Washington. Check this out. This afternoon, 37 to 43 inches of snow. Tonight, 32 to 38 inches of snow. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 25 to 31 inches of snow. Tuesday night, 15 to 21 inches of snow. And by Wednesday, you think, okay, it's winding down, 3 to 7. All right, it's over, right? Nope, 4 to 8 inches more Wednesday night. And then going into Thursday, 3 to 5 inches. Yes, it finally dies down by Thursday. So Monday through Thursday is a major snow event on the Northwest. And we'll get into that right now as we look at our radar and our forecast here upcoming. I told you I'd go over some temperatures tonight too. And boy, is it going to get cold. And I've been saying this for a while now here in the U.S., mid to late January on the real cold. I know in the UK, I thought maybe we would see something by now. The pattern just ain't working out right. But check out the precipitation right now near Olympia, Longview, Seattle, Victoria. Let's go ahead and put this in motion. Plenty of moisture. So if you're talking about in the upper elevations, there is just an ongoing of moisture that's going to continue to fall. over the next several days. 14 feet of snow, folks. Let's go over to the Northeast. We had some snow showers earlier. We are quiet now. Everything is rolled out. Some light snow across parts of Iowa and northern Missouri, and western Illinois as well. Some lake effect snows around Toronto and parts of upstate New York. Still seeing the light stuff falling very gently. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine also getting in on some light snow as well. Let's take a look at our outlook, shall we? And it has changed just a little bit, not much though. And we'll start with tomorrow, January 7th. That plethora of moisture just continues to flow into Washington for several days, bringing heavy snowfall also to Alberta and BC, parts of Idaho and Montana. By Wednesday, another round of light snow to affect the Northeast. Also, West Virginia, parts of Virginia and the Mid-Atlantic states, Philadelphia, New Jersey, you guys could see also some light snow. And as that system moves off the East Coast, some more lake effect snow is possible as temperatures start to cool down a bit here. Still more snow in the Northwest to be expected. And by Thursday, we'll have another round of moisture thanks to a high pressure system that's out in the middle of the Atlantic that's driving moisture from the Gulf through the Midwest and through the Northeast. Temperatures, though, are going to be above freezing, so we are going to see rain to begin with on this storm on January 11th. Now, we have an icing event situation to also talk about. And I mentioned this first this morning, but we got the ice starting in parts of Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri. Nebraska is getting all snow. Missouri, ice. Illinois, Indiana, heavy rain across the Tennessee Valley as well. And look at that, up the Mississippi, tons of rain, tons of ice. Now, the good news is, well, not really the good news, but if you live here in upstate, this storm, this low pressure system is a little bit further north than what it was earlier. So that's pushing all the snow really more north. Michigan's going to get really hit. Detroit, you're going to get that sleet, freezing rain mix. And then if you live in South Bend, Indiana, Salem, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, along the southern parts of Ohio, we're going to see a major amounts of rain. And then just off to the northwest, this will all change over to snow before it's all said and done. But check this out, guys. It's going to start off as rain here in the upstate New York area, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And as temperatures continue to cool, man, we got another messy situation coming up. It looks like a lot of sleet, a lot of freezing rain. Upstate New York, I would assume that we will start seeing winter weather storm advisories here in the next several hours. Only because this happened last week or a couple weeks ago, and the storm that we got, it was really all rain. We got ice at the very end of it. They were expecting almost an inch of ice. That total went down to 0.6 of an inch. Then it went down to 3/4, and eventually it went down to just 1/10 of an inch. So is GFS overdoing it? Who knows? And GFS is usually a warm bias type model. So the fact that they've got some heavy snow and serious icing happening here on Saturday and Sunday, this thing will end as heavy snow in far parts of upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, parts of Maine. Ice is going to be a threat, though, for Massachusetts once again. And then this thing will race out of here by Monday as some light snow in Maine. And then more. I mean, guys, it hasn't stopped snowing and raining in the Northwest since we started this forecast outlook. Every day of this outlook, we have rain and snow every single day. There's the 12th. There's the 13th. There's the 4th. Yeah, another system, by the way, for the Northeast, guys. This high pressure system out here in the Atlantic is just rotating moisture all the way through. And we're on that boundary line where it could be rain, it could be ice. And this is going to ridge one more time. I believe this might be one of the last ridging events we'll see for this year. I could be wrong, but this could be one of the last ridging as far as really warm, like 40s. I think after that we'll see a ridging, but it's going to be in the upper 30s in the Northeast. This is Wednesday, January 15th. Another storm system building in the south. More heavy rain. Look at the ISO bars, though. Look at this. This is also showing us we're going to see some heavy winds here, guys. Strong cold front pulling down all the way into Texas. And if we keep moving forward here on the 17th, look at this. That cold air spreads all the way down to the south. Texas, northern Texas, Lots of cold air, and boy, you talk about 14 feet of snow up here. Watch out for the Sierras as well. Now they're going to get in on the action of the relentless moisture. And you've got relentless moisture down here in the south and along the east. We're getting pegged in the northwest. High pressure dominates over the central part of the country by next Friday. Lake effect snows all over the Great Lakes. And then another low pressure system heading on down the coast of California. And another major winter weather system developing by Sunday, January 19th. So it looks like every weekend we're going to get a rain/snow/ice storm for the next 3 weeks, Saturday into Sunday. Here is a storm that's moving through. It starts off as snow. The GFS is indicating that it'll change over to rain, then back to snow by Monday, January 20th, and it's not done. Lake effect snow showers still possible on the 21st. Snow and ice in Tennessee. That's right. Deckard, Tennessee, Winchester, Murfreesboro, Manchester, Tennessee, Knoxville, Chattanooga. You guys could see some snow and ice coming through your way on Tuesday, January 24th. And as that system moves out, look at this next boundary of cold air, guys. Wow. Texas. Look at the ice in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. That system will move eastward and affect everyone in the deep south. So everybody who is asking, where's the cold weather? Where's that cold air? About ready to show you. Starting, I think, after this week, you see that cold Arctic air trying to penetrate in the lower 48. There's that one ridging event, and then number 2 is right behind it. This is the second ridging event, and this is where I think this will be the last one for the year until we get closer to March, in my opinion. This right here on January 16th. Look at the Arctic air that's coming into the United States. Good grief. Negative 33 in parts of North Dakota, negative 54 in parts of Canada as well. Some serious cold, guys. And this ridging will disappear once this Arctic blast continues to push. Look at that. By the 17th of January, everyone's freezing again. Just like we were in November. Look at that, 18th of January. Real cold air surges into the northeast. The northern plains stay cold. Frigid air continues to the 19th. It tries to ridge up, but like I said, this is going to be like an upper 30s event. It's not going to be anything like melting snow and whatnot. January 20th, another surge of Arctic cold is coming to town by the 22nd, which, look at this. By January 22nd, my birthday, everyone will be cold, freezing for the most part. Unless you live in Florida, that's going to be awesome. But even in Jacksonville, could see upper 40s for a high. Parts of Southern California, 51 degrees near San Diego, 40 in other parts. So some very cold air is on the way for sure. Hey, let's change regions. Let's check you out, UK. I misspoke, thought we'd see some cold air by now. Apparently, looking at this GFS model, we won't see colder air into the European countries until right around mid-January at that. But staying in the 40s and 50s for most of you here in the UK, Ireland, Wales, Scotland. Very mild so far. And a lot of people thinking that we should see colder now in northern parts of the UK. We're starting to see a little bit colder temperatures, and this might be their last ridging event here on the 17th as well, as we start to see temperatures flirting with freezing overnight. And look at that, a mild streak on January 20th, 11 degrees Celsius. Jeez. I mean, that's what, like 40s, 50s Fahrenheit, something like that? So rather mild for you folks over there in the UK. Europe, like I said, you guys are starting to see the cold move in. And I mean, this is slowly going to continue to creep towards the UK and France. And their winter is just going to be a late starter. And listen, that's not good either. Because a lot of times when you get started this late, it ends up going into August or April. God, I hope not August. If we go into August, we got some serious issues, folks. So that's a look at your weather update for the next couple of weeks here for the UK, Europe, and the United States. Mari, would you like to come over here and say hello to our wonderful folks in the chat?
Yes, we're talking about cats and dogs. Sorry, I just dropped my phone. We have a whole group full of awesome people. I know I say it like pretty much every live show, how much I love the people in the chat, but we have probably one of the best online communities I've ever witnessed. When it comes to people just being cool, knowledgeable, respectful, compassionate, just everything. Just really sort of humbling to be a part of it, Jake. Now I'm going to stop being all wussy and toughen up here about the I chased the puppy around. You witnessed this, didn't you, Jake, while you were doing the live show?
Did.
And it's just what a naughty puppy we have. And I called her our residential terrorist.
Yeah, be careful. I don't want to get yellow flagged on YouTube.
Anyway, yeah, I've been listing off some of the naughty things, and then the cat. Anyway, totally off topic. Sorry. I'd like to thank Mr. Morgan Cull. I just noticed you're a member on our YouTube. Thank you. I'm going to give a shout out to Jeff from Nemesis Project, since I haven't seen him in so long. A very heartfelt sympathy to Thor. You've been gone for a while, and I'm very sorry about your mom. I lost my dad to cancer, and I know how hard that is to witness. So you are in our thoughts and prayers big time, brother. So many people's dogs are named Bella in the chat, by the way. I know I'm totally off topic again. Av Team has a dog named Bella. And then Wolf Pup Jessica has a puppy named, or a dog, I think it's a puppy actually, named Bella as well. And then Thor Valhalla said that his daughter named his dog Flower. And he did the funniest straight face. I can just picture him actually doing it. He's like, "Come here, Flower." So I hope all of you are doing well. Happy Monday. We should have a pretty regular schedule this week.
No issues.
So now that we're over the holidays and the new year, it should be smooth sailing going forward. So that's good. We're excited for the new year and building this community up more. And I'm going to be working on the website. I haven't posted. Totally guilty. Haven't posted in a while. I'm going to get back on track and have more posts and be on social media more often this week. So hope to see you guys wherever you want to show up, whether it be the Facebook page, our website, our YouTube channel, and the membership thing. Don't forget to buy a t-shirt if you want to support our channel.
Wonderful t-shirts.
I think we haven't sold a t-shirt this year, so who's going to be the first one?
Not one?
And what one will it be?
What?
That's what I want to know.
We haven't sold a t-shirt yet?
We haven't, no, not at all this year. I'm surprised. I think we've sold like 4 or something things like for December.
Well, people are probably just
don't want GSM for Christmas.
No, well, they're just having holiday hangover.
Message.
They spent a lot of money. So we're trying to recoup there. Christmas was brutal.
This is true. It's like very expensive, especially as the kids get older. Anyway, happy
Monday.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Ahead, Jake. Well done, show.
Well, thank you, Mari, for your insight tonight and keeping up with everyone in the chat. I greatly appreciate it as always. Guys, tune in tomorrow morning. We will be back on live for a morning update of the Grand Solar Minimum. Get a quick look at the weather, some space weather, and if there's any newsworthy headlines, I'll also pass that along as well. Until tomorrow morning, guys, have a great evening, and we will talk soon. Take care.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.